Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, I wanted to have fun with a technique. I'm going to use embossing powder and a new stamp that I got. I planned on doing a haul video. I'm still in the process of putting it all together, so you'll probably see some products, before I actually share it all. But let me tell you, I have enjoyed this new stamp set. So I'm prepping my paper by using the static powder, the E-Cake Success powder, and I'm just inking up the butterfly stamp here, and I'm going to press down. And I like to grab a cloth. I don't have long sleeves, so I couldn't use like the sleeve of my shirt, but you just want something to help give you even pressure. And I was looking to see how my inking looked on the paper. That's why I was kind of moving it weird, because I want to make sure I don't miss any of the detail on this particular stamp. Now, in trying to make sure I had it in the same spot, I wind up moving it, and it's very easy to do. It's not like life threatening or anything like that. But I'm gonna show you as I'm pouring on the powder. I'm like, okay, so this is looking blurry, and I can see where I move my stamp, right? So I'm putting it on, trying to see if it's like really horrible, and it is. So I grab a brush, and I'm just gonna wipe it off. And the best part with any white paper that you start doing your project on is there's always a backside, right? So let's flip it over. And we're gonna do this time, we're gonna prep the paper again. And I find whenever like it seems like the powder is getting stuck, I tap my tool a few times, and then the powder will come out again. So that's how I get it to work. If you have any problems, that's one of my suggestions. Just lightly tap it, and then sprinkle it on, and you'll get some powder will come out. All right, so this time I made sure it was definitely inked well, and then I gave it a good press, and then boom, here is the stamp. It is so gorgeous. I have always wanted to get a stamp set from the Ton. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them. I will make sure to leave a link down below, but this stamp spoke to me on so many levels. When it came out in September, I was like, I have to have this stamp. And I don't even know if I will make like that many cards. Like, I just want to keep stamping it and having a bunch ready to go, and when I'm having a bad day, just pick something and color it. You know what I mean? Like, I am in love. It's two of my most favorite things: butterflies and flowers. One stamp, love. Okay, so we're stamping one in the VersaFine or Versamark ink, and using the gold embossing powder. And then I decided that I wanted to do another one while I had the stamp on the platform, and I wanted to do it in the platinum from Ranger, I believe it is the Ranger platinum embossing powder, which is gorgeous. It's probably one of my favorite go-tos, because it's that cross between, it's like silver, but it wants to have maybe like a slight hint of gold. It's really interesting. It's a good one. If you have like embossing powders on your list, put this one on there, because I've been using this one now for a few years, and it's still like one of the first ones I go for. If I'm not looking for specifically, the bright golds and silvers and stuff like that, I always reach for the platinum. And I have mine in these little containers. I think I did a video about my embossing powders, and I will make sure to put a link up in here about it, because there's a lot of different things that people do. You can leave it in their original containers and just use coffee filters, or you can put them into these. You can get a bunch of them at the dollar store, or you can, of course, order them online. I know some of the ladies, like the powders that they use a lot of, they get the bigger size. So that way it'll hold more of the embossing powder. So like your whites, I would say I would just do your go-tos. Your white embossing, black if you like using black embossing powder, and then your gold and silver. That's it. I would think those would be like the four like go-to in the bigger size. And then you could probably do just a smaller size because that smaller size will hold a lot. I know you can fit at least 2 containers of embossing powder because I did that with my clear before I got the bigger one, and it fit. It just fills it up high. All right, so now we're just heating it with our heat tool, and I suggest that you definitely let your heat tool warm up and then heat it a little bit from behind. It'll help a little bit with the warping. You're probably not going to be able to really get by on the warping level, only because it just depends on your paper. You know, the thicker the paper, the little bit better the warping is, but I'm using Bristol Smooth for these because I already know, well, you can see up here in the right hand corner, I'm going to be using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush Markers. Probably one of my most used markers, even though for a while now I haven't been in them, but I still love them. All right, that's the gold, and then that's the platinum. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, we're gonna put the gold to the side because, like I said, I've been digging the platinum. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab out a few colors. So this first one, I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna try and tell you as we go. The pink, it's number 025. And what I do is I put the dark line at the center, towards the center of the flower, and then I take my water brush and I try and pull it out so that way it gets lighter as it moves. And then depending on where the petal is, like if I feel like there should be more shadow because of the petal in front of it that's lifting, that's over top of it, then I may put down a little bit more color or go back. If you're worried about it, you can always start with a lighter touch and pull out and just keep layering, because they're basically like watercolor markers. And so you can put down some water and then dab it up if you want to lighten it even more so. There's a lot of different techniques you can do with this one. You can just put it straight on and you can see that really dark, rich coloring that it gives you. And then sometimes if you want a spot to stay even lighter, then you can just take the residual color on your brush and move it to another section, It's just a lot of fun. I really do enjoy using these and having a good time. And it's very relaxing. I do know, before we get started, what I'll do is I've kept my brushes off to the side, and in the more section down below, I will make sure to add the colors that I used of the Zig color brush markers. So that way, if you guys have them, you can either copy the same color scheme if you want, or if you've never used them and you want to try them, they're probably some of my most go-tos because I like the blue. I like the green that you'll wind up seeing me use is really pretty. So I think it's a good green to have where it can look light, but if you put more down, it'll give you some darker shades too. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and put on the music, and then I will see you guys towards the end of the video. here's the final piece, all completely covered. And it's just stunning, really, you guys. I'm telling you, you need to get this stamp set, because even if you're a new colorist or colorer, just a part-time coloring person, you can have a great time with this. Look, and you just add a sentiment and your card is done. And you can trim it a little bit on the end there and maybe a little bit up at the top, and you know, it'll still fit like an A2 size card, because I believe I cut these to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so this would fit just straight right on the card front. But if you want a little bit of a border, then just trim it down a little bit. But it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna color the other one off camera, and you'll see the close-ups here in the end. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said before, I will have links down below to the ton, and I will have the list of the markers I used down below as well. And on this one, I just colored the flowers only and left the other side of the butterfly the embossed look. I thought that was really pretty too. So thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great day.